Hey, let's take a look at a few of these multiplication problems we did on today's assignment. Multiplying radicals is one of the easiest things you can do. You multiply the outsides, you multiply the insides, and then you see if you can simplify. Radical 8, radical 3, they're both on the inside. This becomes the square root of 24, and then we break apart the 24. 24 is a 2, a 2, a 2, and a 3. That's what an 8 is and a 3. I can pull out a 2, but unfortunately I have to leave the other 2 and the 3 inside, 2 radical 6. 30 is on the inside, 5 is on the inside, so this simplifies to a radical 150. 150 is a 5 and a 30, because that's what I multiplied here to get that. A 5, a 30 is a 2, a 3, and another 5. I see that I have a pair of 5s, so I'll pull a pair of 5, I'll pull a 5 out, but I have to leave this 2 and 3 inside, 5 radical 6. When you have numbers on the outside, you'll multiply those together. 4 and the 6 make 24. The 10 and the 3 make a 30. And you would think that a 30 could break apart, but a 30 is a 2, a 3, and a 5. There's no pairs, so that's as far as you go right there. 3 and 5 are on the outside. 5 and 10 are on the inside. A 50 is a 5 and a 10 because I just multiplied them together. So we have 5 and the 10 is a 2 and a 5. I see that I have a pair of 5s, so I'm going to take that pair of 5s and pull one of those out and multiply with the 15. You don't have to show me that step. You can just go to your calculator, but then I'm going to leave a 2 inside. 5 times 15 on your calculator is 75. 75 radical 2. If you don't show me this step right here, that's fine. 5 radical 3 squared means you're taking 5 square root of 3 and you are multiplying it with itself. You do your outside numbers, you do your inside numbers. And 9 is one of those perfect numbers. The square root of 9 is a 3. The radical goes away. 25 times 3 is 75. Here we have some numbers in front of parentheses, which means you'll distribute. So you'll take your radical 2 and multiply it with the 5. The 2 is inside, the 5 is outside. 5 radical 2. And then you'll take your radical 2 and multiply it with your radical 3. They're both inside. Radical 6. And I can't simplify either one of those. 6 radical 2 times the radical 2 will give me 6 square root of 4. 4 is one of those perfect numbers. And 6 with this negative 8 will be negative 48. The radical 2, the radical 5, they're inside, will be 10. Excuse me. The square root of this 4 here is a 2. So 6 times 2 gives me 12. 12 minus 48 radical 10. And one more. Radical 7 times this. The 2 is on the outside. We have a radical 7 inside, another radical 7 inside, that's a 49. Another one of those perfect numbers, minus 7 and 14 are both on the inside, that'll make a 98. This 49 becomes 7, so this becomes 2 times 7, which is 14. Now what about that radical 98? A 98 breaks up into a 7 and a 14. So we have a 7 from the 7, a 2 and a 7 from the 14. I see a pair of 7s, and unfortunately I have to leave that 2 inside. Hey,